So it's Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by my good friend and top boxing manager, Sam Jones. Sam, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, Danny. How's things, mate?
Very good, thank you. Bit envious of you, not probably for the first time, to be fair, but you were at SmackDown and Money in the Bank, I believe, over the weekend.
No, I wasn't at SmackDown. I did get invited to go to SmackDown, but I never went, mate. I went to just Money in the Bank, which was, by the way, one of the best. I don't want to get stick to say it's one of the best live shows I've ever been to, mate. It was absolutely fantastic.
Well, you won't get stick from me. I'm very jealous I wasn't there. I interviewed some of the guys on Friday morning. That was a bit of a joy in itself, LA Knight and Bailey and so on. But yeah. What did you make of it as it panned out?
Mate, absolutely fine. It was great, mate. Listen, people won't understand, but obviously, Cena was, as I was kind of leaving the wrestling thing, like I always watch it on and off, but I was addicted to it when the Attitude Era was around. But obviously, when Cena was coming on, that was just when I was still watching it. But as Cena got like to the absolute very pinnacle and dominated for years, I kind of stopped because listen, you get a bit older. But to see Cena yesterday, it would come out. It was fantastic. It was really good. By the way, Logan Paul gets a lot of stick, but one of the most talented men I've ever seen. He really is. I've never seen anyone take to wrestling the way he has, like a duck to water, mate. Unbelievable performance. No, mate, him and Ricochet, mate, were standouts, mate. Absolutely fantastic. I think the crowd wanted LA Knight to win, but he didn't win. They gave it to Damian Priest, but no, mate, it was absolutely fantastic, mate. Great night. I think the Bloodline Feud is the greatest storyline in wrestling since the Attitude Era. It's absolutely fantastic, and I think Jey Uso is a superstar.
Well, let's see what happens at SummerSlam.
I'm going to get a lot of stick for this, but listen, you asked me the question, mate. But no, mate, it's a fine. WWE are smashing it at the moment.
Well, we got some big views from it over the weekend, so I'm not complaining. Do you know what I mean? I'm a big WWE fan anyway, or wrestling fan, I should say. For AEW fans come after me, but yeah, great stuff. Let's go on more to something directly connected to you. I saw your Instagram story earlier. You've signed Ben Reese, another promising young talent, and the stable door's closed now, apparently.
Yeah, it's not that it's just closed, but like I've got 10 now. That's enough. Like that's enough for me to get my teeth into, and I'm very, very happy with the signings I've got. I've got, as I say, Jack Castro, as I say, the main event who's going to be topping bills. But I've got prospects who I love working with prospects from the ground up, so we can, as I say, build a relationship, get them up to the top. But every signing I've got, they're all potential world champions, Danny. So very, 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 very happy.
What is the latest on Jack? Obviously, we're waiting for him to get a big fight. Is that any closer?
Yeah, look, listen, I went to see Frank Smith in Sheffield the other day, and it's a little bit frustrating at the moment because, listen, I know the Zone want to see Haney against Prograis, but I'm not just saying this because I'm biased to Jack. I don't want to see that fight, Danny. I want to see Regis Prograis fight Jack Castro. I think Devin Haney's still got unfinished business at 135. I know he's tight at the weight, but I think he needs to fight Lomachenko in a rematch, or I think he needs to fight Shakur Stevenson, and then come up and do your business in the 140 division. But I think Jack Castro deserves his shot at Regis Prograis, or any of the champions for that matter. But Regis Prograis is the fight that I believe is the easiest to make because they're both under the Matchroom banner. I know Regis very well. I know his team very well. And I know they would take that fight with Jack because Regis is a proper fighting man. He will fight anybody. And Jack's the same. When you get two guys, they already agreed to fight each other before. It kind of fell through. So let's just hope that fight happens sooner rather than later. But we're ready to go, Danny. I think you'll see Jack out in October. And it's going to be a massive fight regardless.
And talking of big fights involving Jack Castro, it seems until quite recently that you might be the comeback opponent for Josh Taylor. What's going on there? Getting right under each other's skin.
No, Danny. For once, I didn't do anything wrong. All I said was he messaged me while he's on his honeymoon in Mexico, which I find strange in itself. And he was just like laying into me I just said, it's a bit weird messaging me after 2 months, commenting under a post. And he says, and then he just went in on me, called me the Eddie Earn on Wish, which we've heard too many times. So it's poor patter. And I like Josh Taylor. Like I've always told you, I like Josh Taylor. I was a big fan of Josh Taylor. Watched his whole career unfold. I think he's angry because he's not the superstar that he should have been. I think he should have been promoted a hell of a lot better. It's a shame someone like an Eddie or a Frank Warren's not been behind him from the start and made him a household name. Like, he's never had his big comeback fight, homecoming fight in Edinburgh that he deserves in the Hibs Stadium. So I know he's a big Hibernian fan. And he's just obviously woke up in Mexico, or not woke up, but he's been up on the tequilas, just angry as fuck about life. Like, he's lost his last 2 fights. And he's just angry, and it's not my fault. I'm a big Taylor fan. I just think, like I say, I just think he got whooped by Jack, and then he got double whooped by Tio, and he's angry. So it is what it is. I mean, unfortunately, well, I don't know whether it's fortunate for him, but Jack Catchell is his biggest fight. We're not really hunting that fight or pursuing it because he's not got anything for Jack anymore. It's just, if the British public want to see it, Jack wants to be involved in massive fights, but he's not looking at Taylor thinking, oh, he's not really got anything for me. But Jack Catchell is Josh Taylor's biggest fight. If he moves up to 147, who's he going to fight? There's no one there for him to fight. Just facts.
I'm going to have a wild stab in the dark here and suggest that's probably not the first time you've been threatened with physical violence. And certainly not by a boxer. But does it ever concern you at all that he might actually rock up at a show?
Danny, not one bit. If Josh Taylor wants to strangle me, just make sure it's on YouTube so it builds the fight.
Seconds Out specifically.
You say, providing I don't die, or like I even on a drip, as long as I'm okay afterwards and after a few days, I'm sure I'll live. But listen, if Josh Taylor wants to give me a strangle or a slap, then let him get on with it.
Well, it might get out of his system at least, and you can move on.
Mate, it might get him out of system because he's clearly a very, very angry individual, but he's angry at the wrong man. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. And if you think I'm fat and shit or whatever you called me the other day, then great. But I think he needs to get some momentum back in his career again, which I'm sure he's capable of doing. He's a great fighter.
You're definitely not fat, mate. I'll give you that.
No, I'm not fat at the moment, but I have put on a bit of chubbiness recently. But I'm not.
Hence the beard. Fat. How many chins?
Yeah, maybe it's a bit because I've got a natural fat face, to be honest with you. But I think it's quite endearing. I think people like the chubbiness.
Well, Josh Taylor does it. It hasn't endeared you to him, but maybe he's beyond.
I don't think Josh Taylor can grow a sexy beard like me, though.
More challenges out there for Josh Taylor. He'll love this. Moving on, what's going on in the heavyweight division at the moment? I know you don't have like a key player in it, but why aren't we seeing any fights?
I love the heavyweights, but I'm actually glad I don't have a heavyweight at the moment, Danny, because the heavyweight division is shite. It is, isn't it? It is. And I'm not just biased saying, oh, Joe Joyce, but Joe Joyce is the only one taking on challenges. Like, we want to see. Listen, I'm actually a big fan of the Dillian White AJ fight. People are moaning about it, but let's be perfectly honest. Probably the best fight in the division at the moment. Joyce Sang, Dillian White, AJ. Yeah. One of those two, right? No one can say any different. I want to see Usyk against Tyson Fury and AJ against Wilder. And I want to see the Joyces or the Zangs or these, even old Berkoli, Ergovic. I want to see these guys get their opportunity because it's shite. I don't want, listen, I love Tyson. I love the big man, right? The best heavyweight in the world. But I don't want to see him fight Ngannou. I don't give a shit about that fight, Danny. I don't care. It's a mismatch.
Yeah, I agree. Let's hope it's not that they announced, but that's what
Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, right? All those greats, yeah, that came before them will be just looking at this division right now, cringing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Lewis didn't always fight at the best of his era in his time, not for any fault of his own, but there were politics getting in the way then as well.
Exactly. But Lennox boxed everyone that was put in front of him. Lennox never ducked to nobody, Danny, never. And when he did lose a fight, he went and got his shit back straight away.
But do you think any of them now are ducking, or do you think it's more the Saudi money?
All of them need putting in a room and banging their heads together. It's pathetic, Danny. It's pathetic, mate. Yeah, don't start me off on about him. I just think the heavyweight division right now is shit. And anyone that's like a casual fan, do not judge boxing on the state of the heavyweight division right now, because that's not boxing. You've got great fights coming up. Crawford against Spence, Canelo, Charlo. Like there's many good fights. Many good fights. So lots to look forward to in boxing.